There was a time when I listened to music that wasn't Taylor Swift. And in that weird period of not really having a music taste that defined my personality, I was really into music and movies. Not musical scores, mind you. I didn't go around screaming, "Oh my god, John Williams is GOAT" every day. But I did enjoy it when characters in movies would randomly burst into song and dance. I was just the Giselle of life and nothing like Dr. McDreamy here. This is why none of you should be surprised when I say that I genuinely, without a shadow of a doubt, adored Ella Enchanted as a kid. And no, I don't mean the good book. I mean the low-budget film starring Anne Hathaway and Hugh Dancy. Full disclosure, I still prefer her version of Somebody to Love over Queens. Let the essay begin. Ella Enchanted was released in 2004, directed by Tommy O'Haver, who hasn't really put out much except for Ella Enchanted. It was very, very, very loosely based on a book by Gail Carson Levine. And when I say loosely, I mean that in principle it's the same as in there's a girl who has to follow orders for the rest of her life because of a very misguided fairy. The cast is a very fun one. We have baby Anne Hathaway, baby Hugh Dancy, and Carrie Elwes, known for being the farm boy from The Princess Bride or Robin from Robin Hood. If anything else, they seem like they're having fun in this movie, and that's what I want to say. This movie is fun. In contrast to the book, which tackled somewhat serious issues and had, for lack of a better term, a good amount of gravitas to it, the movie just did not care. Literally, it seemed to exist unapologetically and was there for the vibes. And by vibes, I mean that the movie was presented to be a self-aware and comedic, borderline satirical take on fairy tales. Even the leading lady, Anne Hathaway, said it herself in an interview with the editor-in-chief of Showbiz Junkies. Princess Diaries kind of embraces the fact that it is a fairy tale. Ella makes fun of itself because of it. So that was very much intentional. Anne Hathaway said once that there was a script that was much closer to the original movie, but it had to be reworked several times because the original novel just could not work as a film. I don't think there was ever a falling out with the author either because she gave her blessing to the studios and was never publicly bitter about the changes. In fact, she said that the movie was a separate creative act on its own. So I suppose everything that happened in the movie, every creative and storytelling decision, every direction O'Haver chose to take, was done sincerely. So it's safe to say, I think that they did not want to create an Ella Enchanted movie. And they did not want to create a good movie either. But they wanted to create a fun one. However, I have a question for all of you. Can you create a movie that's just supposed to be fun with a premise as heavy as this? Okay, fine, you might be watching this video thinking, "Oh Ika, no one watches Ella Enchanted expecting it to be the same quality as The Godfather or Citizen Kane." And to that I say, I know. I am the queen of enjoying good old trash films, and I personally would put on Ella Enchanted over either of those two movies any day. However, I realized something while rewatching Ella Enchanted with friends last December. It's hard to turn off your brain when there's just a lot of things that don't make sense about the movie. I can tell if someone did a really bad job at writing the outline of the story that is logical lore-wise, or a really good job at writing something that wasn't supposed to make sense in the first place. Like, yes, this movie was written for kids, but the adults who were working on the movie must have stepped back for a hot minute and thought, let's rework the scene because what's happening here won't make sense towards the end of the film and may just make us not like the characters we're meant to be rooting for. So, the most controversial, heavy, and relevant theme of the movie is forced obedience. Ella Enchanted has always been, or tried to be, a feminist tale. I think it's incredibly obvious that Ella's gift of obedience and her whole journey of undoing Lucinda's curse is symbolic of the lack of agency women have. Ella has to navigate her way through a society that wants to abuse her gift, using it for their own personal gain without any regard for her consent. And while the movie tries to downplay the curse by putting Ella in funny situations,
put your left foot in, left foot out, left foot in, and shake it all about. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, 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 shake your booty, shake your
the idea of a woman physically incapable of saying no is absolutely horrific. So already there, if you want to watch the movie the way it was intended to be watched, you already have to suspend a lot of belief. Because let's be real, anyone who isn't a child will watch this film and wonder how Ella managed to avoid the darker, realer, and less hilarious consequences of a gift as dangerous as hers. But other than that horrific thought, I realized something else during my rewatch. If you're able to somehow believe that the most diabolical thing anyone can do in Frel is plot for the death of their nephew in the most Disney death sort of way, you may not, for the love of all things good and logical, understand the mechanics of this gift. When Lucinda gave Ella obedience, she was supposed to be the perfect girl who could not say no. The montage after the first scene was meant to show how it manifests, and in fact, there are several key things one takes away from that scene. They are as follows. Number 1, Ella's gift does not understand nuance and takes everything phrased as a command literally, regardless of intention.
I do. Bite me! Did you just see what
Ella's gift can grant her superhuman ability if the request made requires it.
Her way.
Ella, come practice your mandolin.
Fine, but I'll take my own sweet time doing it.
Hurry up now.
And Ella's mother ordered her not to tell anyone about her gift for fear of people using it against her.
Only Mandy and I know about the gift. We've never even told your father. And you must never tell anyone else.
From a viewer's perspective, it also tells you that whenever the curse is in play, you hear this cute little ding.
Thanks.
You hear that quite a lot in the movie because Ella is just constantly doing what she's told for, well, a good half of it. These are meant to be cold, hard truths. Facts of the movie that you're not supposed to question because of the suspension of belief. However, the movie contradicts the first fact during an emotional moment of character growth and development. After Ella sings Somebody to Love, she and Prince Charmant share a moment of vulnerability. In this moment, you can see him telling her to kiss him.
Kiss me. That wasn't an order, you know.
I know.
Notice how there's no ding? Notice how she doesn't automatically go for an open mouth fish kiss. What's surprising me is that when he tells her that it wasn't an order, she understands it, or her gift understands it. But before that, her gift never understood nuance. So how did she know not to kiss him? The only logical explanation I can think of is that Prince Charmant made his intentions clear a couple of scenes back when this happened.
Now it's the middle of the night. No, you have to stay for the party.
Okay, I'll stay.
I appreciate your enthusiasm, but you don't have to stay. I don't want to make you do anything you don't want to do.
But is it because of his good nature that the gift did not manifest in the way it usually does? Is he the combo breaker Ella's been looking for all of her life? Is it because Ella was truly aware that Prince Charmant would never make her do anything against her wishes? And if that's the case, wouldn't the gift not have manifested when her mother, arguably the person who only ever wanted the best for her without anything in return, ordered her around? But it did manifest in the montage, so what happened there? One could theorize all they want, but honestly, I just believe that the writers did what was most convenient for them during each scene, which I guess is what I can expect from a direct-to-DVD movie. You can't expect someone to put a lot of thought in what is mostly a money grab. And while there is some truth to that, I can't help but feel like writers who create fiction for kids often underestimate them. Like, as we see now with movies like recently Encanted by Disney, kids are able to understand good plots and enjoy them very much. It doesn't really need to be stupid or not well thought out for them. And I definitely think that media targeted for children should be really thought out because they deserve it. But other than that, there's an issue in all of this. we could suspend all beliefs and accept the weird inconsistencies with Ella's gift all we want for the sake of good vibes, and I mean really good vibes. However, since this was originally a book that had far more gravitas to it, it will always be compared to how it handles the serious issues and plot inconsistencies. The gift of obedience in the book is a lot less comical than it is in the movies. It's treated with far more care because it's aware of just how heavy the topic is. Thus, the gift is more thought out. Nothing is glossed over for the sake of a few laughs. In fact, the book tries to show just how bad the gift is to Ella and how it strips women of all consent and agency. In the book, Ella's father isn't well off and is far more broke than he appears in the movie. So in a desperate attempt to get himself out of poverty, he tries to marry off Ella to an old Duke, and because of her gift, Ella is delighted by this. Of course, Ella's father is delighted by her eagerness up until he realizes that the Duke is penniless himself, and that plotline resolves that. There are more instances that also show how dangerous a gift like this is, and you read that book thinking that it's yikes all around. It's a far more realistic approach to the curse, one that I believe relies on the truly horrific things that can happen to women on a daily basis. It's a really strong metaphor, and I hesitate to even call it that really. It seems much more obvious than a metaphor, for how society tries its best to ensure that the lack of agency young women have over their body is viewed as a gift, something positive. So knowing this all happens in the book, it becomes almost impossible to not think of how the curse is supposed to be and what the narrative is supposed to really say when you watch a movie. And that's why I find it hard to suspend belief now that I'm older, even if I still enjoy the spectacle of it all. Like, don't get me wrong, the movie isn't unwatchable. I dig Hugh Dancy and Anne Hathaway. The singing is as good as the CGI is bad. I'll probably put this on in the future and enjoy it for what it is, even if I can still feel myself not really believing or getting into the film so much. However, I don't think I'll be able to watch this movie without questions lingering in the back of my mind because the premise is inherently heavy and it's general knowledge that the book did it better. I guess this is why I wanted this of all movies to start my 2022 video essays. This is where I'm at mentally, and this might give a glimpse of the foreseeable future of this channel. Unless there's anything that really piques my interest, I may just keep reviewing and dissecting old movies and music from my childhood. I've been struggling to keep up right now with cinema and TV shows, partly because of burnout and partly because nothing's really been interesting lately. But if you guys have any suggestions, leave them here and I'll check them out. But for now, I leave you with this Ella Enchanted video essays. I can't say I recommend the film, but if you enjoyed it as a child, I'm sure you may have the same questions as me, and I'm sure you may have loved it just as much. What childhood films have questionable endings and plotlines? Let me know in the comments. Hey guys, it's Ika. Thank you so much for watching my first video essay of 2022. I know it's pretty late and it's been a hot minute since my last video essay, but I'm gonna try and upload consistently this year. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, please hit the thumbs up, comment below, and subscribe to never miss any one of my videos, and I will see you all next time. Bye!